I thought I'd just do an impromptu video since I'm waiting in the car and have nothing better to do. I was going to do this video at home, but might as well make the most of my time. So this video is about what I like about Durianrider and what I'm thankful for. And I wanted to do this video because I know that Durianrider's been getting a lot of hate recently, especially with his, well, he's always been hated by some people because he's really controversial and, you know, there's always some drama going on with him. But I thought that I'd make this a positive video and say what I'm thankful for. So I'll start with when I first became vegan. When I first became vegan, I don't know if you could call me vegan, but more just interested in trying a plant-based diet, especially a raw food diet, because I had such bad acne. I was on the pill and I was taking antibiotics, and I thought, I don't want to take those things anymore. I want to change my diet and do things the natural way. So I got into that because of a book called High Raw by Gianni, and I think that if I hadn't found 30 bananas a day, I would have been sucked into a high-fat raw food diet, and I would have wasted time and money trying to do it that way. But because of 30 bananas a day, I was led to the book 80-10-10 diet and the China study. Even through Durianrider and Freely's videos, at the end they would recommend books, and I saw the China study and 80-10-10, so that made a lot of sense to me to do it the high carb way, and I think I just saved myself a lot of time and money and like heartache by doing vegan, high carb, and trying to be raw the high carb way, which is generally easier and less expensive. But I wasn't hung up on being raw, and I was glad that Durianrider referred to other plant-based doctors like T. Colin Campbell and Dr. McDougall, so there was always an alternative place to get advice on a vegan diet, and it was good to have those sources of information available as well and recommended by him. So that's what I liked, and I love how he is always truthful in his videos, and you just always get his honest opinion. He doesn't try to hide what he really thinks because he's afraid of what people think, but I like that he's always honest, and I like that he calls out the snake oil salesman. Recently I submitted a question through Tumblr about Marcus Rothrantz, who is selling some liver supplements, and I asked how these supplements would help and how a liver supplement will cleanse your liver and if it's beneficial, and he replied, well, he answered the question on Tumblr and said, well, Marcus is a snake oil salesman, and he sells things that are unnecessary. Your body is self-cleansing, your body's the same as your liver, and just things that are informative like that and things that make sense. So I'm grateful that he answers his questions through Tumblr. He's probably the most active person on Tumblr and YouTube, at least the most active vegan, and he helps a lot of people through that. And maybe at least once a day or every 2 days I'll read through the questions and answers that he gives on Tumblr. I find it really interesting to see his perspective, and I don't follow many people on Tumblr because I'm not trying to grow my Tumblr, but I'm on Tumblr just because I can see Durianrider's answers to questions, and that I find that quite valuable, whether it's cycling advice or diet advice. I actually just bought his Lean Body Bible ebook yesterday, and I'm excited to read it. I haven't read it yet, but I just got Kenny to buy that for us, and we're going to get bikes. So I'm really grateful that he lives such a motivating life that makes you want to do the things that he does and get into cycling, and cycling has been on my mind since, well, for a while, and I see a lot of other vegan YouTubers getting into cycling and getting fit, and I just don't want to sit on my butt all day because I'm inspired by these people, and it's led by Durianrider himself. So yeah, I got the ebook and I'm excited to read it, and I'm going to get into cycling. And the weather here is not that great for cycling. It's probably the worst weather. It's rainy and freezing cold, but maybe I can get rollers for indoors, and when it's summer here it should be fine for cycling. So yeah, I want to get fit, and not to lose weight but just to be healthy. And if it wasn't for Durianrider, I probably wouldn't have that desire. I of course would still want to be healthy and fit, but I wouldn't have the desire for cycling as much. So I'm grateful for that, and hopefully that will work out, and I think we all start somewhere. So yeah. How about I talk about what my experience was when I met him. So I've only met him once, and this was in Adelaide earlier this year. And I was actually meeting up with Nicole from Nourished by Nicole because she lives in Adelaide. We went to Misu vegetarian restaurant for dinner, and she said that Harley might be there, and I mean, I wasn't sure if he would be or not, but I wanted to meet Nicole anyway, and some other people from Adelaide. So it was really nice meeting everyone. And one of the funny things that she said was, I think it was through Facebook message, that Harley invited me and my husband to go for a bike ride with them. And we had actually hired hybrid bikes. They weren't that good quality, and I said, oh, probably not. We probably couldn't keep up on our bikes. But that's how down to earth Harley is. He will just invite anyone to talk with him or meet with him, and even ride with him. So it doesn't matter if you're an expert or a beginner. He has time for everyone, and even though he is really busy. So yeah, that's the story. But in the restaurant itself, after we had dinner, Harley turned up, and I saw him outside the window. I was just talking to everyone else, but I saw him walking in, and then my heart started racing because I had been watching him for the last 4 years, and it was just surreal to finally meet someone that I had been watching on YouTube for the last 4 years, and he's taller than I had expected, but I knew he was tall. And yeah, my husband and I met him, and we had a good time just talking about random things, laughing, and of course talking about YouTube as well. We talked about PewDiePie. We talked about PewDiePie and why he's so successful, and we noticed how gamers tend to be really successful on YouTube, and it might be just their particular personality. They want to go to the next level. They just want to beat other people, so they have that competitive nature, and that can be what helps them to be successful on YouTube. And of course they're having fun doing it as well. We talked about video games as well, like the old video games like Mortal Kombat and just random things like that. We talked a bit about cars because my husband's into cars, and it was just quite refreshing to see how down to earth he is, and he was willing to give advice and his time. I wish I had more questions to ask him. I wasn't really prepared, but I think even if I did have other questions, I could ask through Tumblr because he's very active there. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.